India is going big on EVs in 2024. With a slew of launches and expected unveils, this will be the most significant addition to the ranks of EVs since they went mainstream in the country a few years ago. And it looks like everyone wants a share of the pie and every big manufacturer will be bringing a new model to the table. So, like our SUV video, we're going to go manufacturer wise and here is the complete list. Are you enjoying the content on our channel? Then do hit those like, share and subscribe buttons and also that bell icon to be notified the instant we put out a new video. First up on our list is the Maruti Suzuki eVX. Showcased at the 2023 Auto Expo, this is Maruti Suzuki's first BEV. They're a bit late to the game, but from what we can see, this will be a significant leap for them in terms of future models. Now, while the car that was shown at the Auto Expo was the first evolution of the vehicle, a second car was shown at the 2023 Japanese Mobility Show, and that showed more of the exterior design as well as the interior elements and layout for the first time. With the second evolution of the exterior design, we can see a more SUV-like shape that we expect for this car, while the interior showcase the future of Suzuki models and have significant elements like the shape of the steering wheel, the dual digital displays and haptic controls for the window and mirror switches on the side. The EVX measures around 4.3 meters and is expected to have a wheelbase of around 2.6 meters, and Maruti themselves have said that it will come with a 60 kWh battery pack and a range of around 500 to 550 kilometers. The car is expected to be unveiled in the second half of 2024 with a launch in early 2025, our bets being that it will be one of the highlights of the Maruti stall at the 2025 Indian Auto Expo. From the Maruti eVX, we move to its sister car, the Toyota Urban SUV concept. Showcased in late 2023, this is essentially Toyota's version of the eVX and will have the same feature list, same powertrain and similar interiors, but will obviously have a different top hat as is evident from the concept car pictures that were showcased. The urban SUV concept in production form is expected to share much of its feature list and layout with the eVX, given that they're almost the same car underneath, and will have a range of around 500 kilometers and optional all-wheel drive depending on the country and depending on the variant. Joining the eVX and the production version of the urban SUV concept will be Mahindra's first of its new range of BEVs called the XUV E8. One glance at the XUV E8 and you know that it's an electric version of the XUV 700, sharing a similar exterior design, similar interior layout but with a different color scheme. Given its pricing and position, we expect it to have a range of around 500 to 550 kilometers, have an optional all-wheel drive system and things like 360-degree camera, dual digital displays and powered front and rear seats. From Mahindra's last ICE-derived BEV to Mahindra's first ever born electric vehicle, this will come in the form of the BE05 SUV. This will be Mahindra's first coupe SUV and will come in a civilian guise in the form of the BE05 and a more rugged version meant to appeal to the off-road community in the form of the BE05 Rally. The BE05 was showcased at Mahindra's UK event in 2022, while the Rally was showcased at the 2023 India round of Formula E. Both cars are expected to be unveiled later this year with an official launch around 2025. India's largest EV maker is going with a full onslaught of vehicles to further mark its presence in the nascent and growing EV segment of India in 2024. It will arrive with a 4-model lineup and here is what you need to know. Now, Tata had shown the Curvv in EV concept form in 2022 and then showcased the ICE version at the 2023 Auto Expo. The production version for the EV is expected to be a mix of both in terms of exterior design and things like the design of the steering wheel, the dual digital displays and of course the haptic interface for the climate control system. It's expected to measure around 4.3 to 4.4 meters and will have a wheelbase of around 2.6 meters, putting it as a rival for things like the Hyundai Creta EV and most probably the Kia Seltos EV. It's expected to derive its battery pack from the long-range Tata Nexon EV giving it a range of around 400 to 500 kilometers and front-wheel drive for all versions sold in India. Now, one of the biggest surprises for us at the 2023 Auto Expo was Tata unveiling an electric version of its Harrier SUV. Officially called the Harrier EV, it has all the design elements of the Tata Harrier, but with an electric heart underneath, and some of the design elements changed to match the Tata EV identity. There are no official details on the Tata Harrier EV, and so far Tata has not released any of them, but we can confidently say that it will have a much bigger range than what is expected on the Curvv and Nexon EV, and will also be used to produce a three-row vehicle called the Safari EV. We can expect a launch for both these vehicles in mid-2025 with a showcase in late 2024. Given how long Tata has been here, it has decided to appeal to its Gen Y buyer public by creating the Tata Sierra EV and now officially confirming it. Over the course of 2 auto expos, it showed us 2 different evolutions of the vehicle, and now we know that it's coming in 2024. It's expected to share much of its range and underpinnings with the Tata Curvv EV, and more importantly will be Tata's two-pronged approach to take on vehicles like the Hyundai Creta EV and whatever comes from Kia in terms of a locally produced EV. Renault Nissan have officially announced their intent to enter the electric segment in India and have said that their vehicles will be 2 A segment derived cars. The first one to arrive will be the Renault, and this will be followed by the Nissan vehicle. Now, the most obvious candidate for this will be an Indianized version of what we call the Dacia Spring, which is essentially an electric version of the Kwid. This car has a range of around 250 kilometers and shares its exterior design, interior design, and feature list and layout with the ICE Kwid. But given that the A segment is kind of stagnated, and Maruti Suzuki, who are the king of the A segment, themselves have said that the sales has really slowed down there, the other probable candidate for this Renault Nissan derived electric vehicle will be electric versions of the Kiger and the Magnite. These will be a little lower priced than things like the Nexon EV and the XUV 400, but will make a significant dent as they're the SUV body style and will offer with an EV powertrain. Joining the ranks of other budget EV makers will be Hyundai and Kia, both of whom had announced their intentions to have locally produced electric vehicles designed specifically for the Indian market. Now with Hyundai, we know it's going to be a Creta based EV and will have a very similar exterior design, feature list and layout, and that should be a good thing given how successful the Creta is, and now there's an upgrade coming at the start of January. Now with Hyundai, it's a little more vague because while they have announced their intention to have a locally produced vehicle, our bet would have usually been on something like the Seltos given its popularity and the fact that it's an SUV. But given how Kia needs a USP away from Hyundai, we think it's more likely to be a Carens EV, making it the first 3-row EV in the segment. Both cars are expected to have the same underpinnings and same kind of powertrain, but will obviously have different top hats and be produced at their respective factories. 2023 was a little bit of a quiet year for BYD as it had announced that it would launch the Seal EV in the latter half of the year, but ultimately that did not materialize. Now we expect that the car will arrive in 2024 and will be the first fastback style vehicle to be offered in this segment. Globally, it can be had with 2 powertrain options, one that offers a range of 550 kilometers and one that offers a range of 700 kilometers. Now, given that BYD brings in top of the line models, we expect the 700 kilometer one to arrive in India. The interiors of the Seal are very similar to that of the Atto 3, and if BYD is going for local assembly, we expect one of the things that will help them bring the cost down is to have the shared interiors. We expect a price of around 45 to 50 lakhs and a launch in mid-2024. The Skoda-VW Alliance will finally start their EV innings in 2024 by launching the ID4 GTX and Enyaq SUVs respectively. The cars are expected to have a range of around 550 to 600 kilometers and will share the same kind of powertrains with optional all-wheel drive. And they're expected to have a similar feature list, the likes of which include the dual digital displays and things like a 360-degree camera, level 2 ADAS, and very similar in terms of interior measurement and layout. Initially, these cars are expected to be CBUs, given that Skoda and VW generally tread the waters cautiously before taking a big step ahead. But with anticipated future demand and anticipated subsidies from the government, we think that VW and Skoda will be able to one-up themselves by locally assembling the vehicles at their Aurangabad plant, which we believe will be adjusted in the future to produce MEB-derived vehicles. So there you have it, our full list of electric vehicles that we expect in India in 2024. Have we missed something? Do let us know in the comment section below. What do you think of our list? Do let us know about that also in our comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.